It's a true story, which is one of the reasons I personally wanted to get involved. When I heard her story, I thought, this can't even be real. But when I realized through talking to her and through my research that it was real, and it is what people with this disorder suffer from, I thought, wow, this has got to come to light. People really need to understand, you know, the complexity of mental disorder and how hard it is to overcome. Frankie has two characters inside of her battling to exist, let's say. One is the unthinkable for me, a white, racist character. When this character comes out, Frankie actually sees herself when she looks in the mirror. She disassociates enough that she sees herself as a white woman, and she has very racist views and thoughts. And then she splits off to a small child who is certifiably diagnosed as a genius. So all of this is swirling inside our Frankie, who is living in the inner city in Los Angeles, working as a go-go dancer slash stripper. And it's her journey to try to, you know, deal with all of these personalities. Well, this story came to me about maybe 10 years ago, and it was just an idea. It was the story of this real woman, and because I got so fixed on it and so fascinated with her and that this was a true story, then I almost couldn't believe it. I thought, I've got to be a part of it. So I became the producer on it, and I helped find the director and the writer, and we went off on our way, and 10 years later, here we are. It was a long road to the end, but finally, here we are. These people really struggle, sometimes minute to minute, to keep their brain from fracturing off into another character, and how hard it is for them sometimes to keep it all together. Especially the people who don't have the kind of support and help that Frankie had. She had a doctor who really took her in under his wings. So many of these people don't have family who support them, don't have doctors who support them, and they're really struggling moment to moment to just keep existing. And when I really understood that, I thought, wow, what a frightening way to live your life. And many of them don't even understand what's wrong with them. On top of that, just how frightened I would be if this were my reality. Felicia Rashad, to me, is the Earth Mother of the universe. That's how I refer to her, and she's just lovely. Everybody would want her as a mother. So when she agreed to play my mother in this, of course I was ecstatic, and she brings a sensitivity and a gravitas to the role that I think was really important for Frankie's mother. I hope they'll have compassion for that, you know, bum, as people like to call them, on the park bench. I hope people will think after seeing this movie, maybe that's not a bum. Maybe that's someone who is suffering and whose family has turned a blind eye and whose society has sort of chosen to forget about, who has slipped through our system. And maybe they're a Vietnam vet who never got help and whose mind is fractured, and they're just struggling to survive. I hope people will have compassion, and then I hope they'll move to action, you know, and get involved with some sort of charities that help, you know, the mentally challenged. If you have a family member who's suffering, maybe you'll embrace them instead of kicking them aside and making them be like the taboo secret. Maybe people will be inspired to stand up and actually help. That would be my hope.